Coming up on UCF Nightly News, find out about a rally that the United Faculty of Florida at UCF hosted to celebrate the role faculty have on student success and urge UCF to give them the raises they deserve.
Next, we congratulate UCF for earning the Collegiate Purple Star Campus designation for the 2024-2025 academic year.
And we learn about a new Orlando Police Department Foundation scholarship to help students achieve their dreams and succeed in those high-demand fields.
In sports, construction begins on Phase 1 of Hagel Football Gateway.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Isabela Benjumea.
And I'm Raymond Collado. Today is Friday, April 19th, 2024.
Emotions remain high after last month's announcement that UCF would not use any of its $50 million funding received by the state towards giving raises to faculty and staff. Members of the United Faculty of Florida, UCF, expressed their anger at the decision this week in a rally. I attended the rally and spoke with faculty who were rallying for the raises.
Students can succeed with
faculty. Student success. That's what UCF's provost and president said the university is prioritizing with the new state funding, but didn't acknowledge faculty and staff in that success, leaving them with no raises for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. As a result, chants, speeches,
let us teach, let the students learn,
and a lot of emotion was shown during a rally on campus that hoped to bring attention to the important role that faculty has on student success. Members of the United Faculty of Florida demanded the university to give them the recognition they deserve, and Associate Professor Aubrey Jewett was one of them.
We are the only faculty and staff in the state university system that are getting a 0% raise. It makes me feel miserable. I feel like after 29 years at UCF, doing my best to try to help students, I am not appreciated at all by the current administration.
Where is the funding?
The funding, according to a recent release by UCF's provost to faculty, is going towards reaching preeminence and in hiring faculty and staff. And even though he also announced a university-wide raise program by fall 2024, this would not include union-represented employees.
Faculty said UCF is taking their contributions for granted, and it's insulting to be ignored. UFF President Robert Casanello has been in UCF since 2003, and he also feels unappreciated by the university.
You know, this is a bit disingenuous, and I think it makes the faculty, and it certainly makes me feel, that we're not appreciated. Faculty and other employees are central to student success, and as such we should be recognized. We should be recognized more than a couple lines in an email.
Members of the UFF hope the UCF administration listens and realize they made a mistake.
Down from the state to use on employee compensation, that the provost decided to invest that money in new advisors and coaches and not in employees.
The United Faculty of Florida says this is just one of the many efforts they will make this year to get the UCF administration to listen and give them a fair raise in their salaries.
Well, UCF has earned the Collegiate Purple Star Designation Award for the 2024-2025 academic year from the State University System of Florida. Now, the Collegiate Purple Star recognizes colleges that demonstrate a commitment to supporting military and veteran students and their families. Director of Military and Student Veteran Success, Michael Kepner, says this award showcases UCF's educational pathways for student veterans.
That the programming, the resources, the services we provide are so needed, but that's what makes us so special, is because we meet the students with what they need, where they need it, so that they can be successful both in their education and their career.
Knight Nation has now been added to the 197 schools designated as Florida Purple Star Schools of Distinction. Once awarded, the designation remains active for 3 academic years.
On UCF Day of Giving 2024, the Orlando Police Department Foundation announced a new Endowed Scholarship program to help criminal justice and legal studies students achieve their dreams. Chief Eric Smith says in a press conference that he wants to help OPD and other Central Florida law enforcement agencies hire the best talent to keep communities safe. Interim Chair Department of Legal Studies Doug Goodman says the scholarship aligns with the values of UCF, an education that matters.
It will allow students to do what they came to school, one, learn, and also to give back to their communities and to make their communities better by providing them an education that matters.
Eligible students can apply for the new scholarship via the Office of Student Financial Assistance beginning in spring 2025.
Well, this week, UCF's Rosen College accomplished a big milestone. Rosen celebrated its 20th birthday, can almost drink. Night News reporter Jeremy Beland tells us more about this celebration and what the future holds for the Rosen College.
On Wednesday, UCF's Rosen College of Hospitality Management celebrated its 20th anniversary. To commemorate, the Rosen College Alumni Chapter put together a panel of alumni to discuss the different professions within hospitality. To honor the 20 years of Rosen, each panel member represented a different decade. Selena Molinax, who graduated from Rosen in 2012, explains what Rosen was like back then.
So in 2012, this is a few years after the 2008 recession. I knew going into college that it would be difficult to find a job, that money was hard everywhere. So I knew it would be a struggle. However, I am so proud of the university that I graduated from Rosen, and the opportunities it provided me, because I was able to transition into a job very quickly after graduation.
20 years, Rosen College has changed a lot. Back in 2023, Shanghai Rankings rated Rosen #1 for hospitality, with big economic hotspots right across the street. New and current students will have a big chance to be part of this forever growing industry. When Rosen was founded in 2004, there were just over 1,000 hospitality majors. Now in 2024, there are over 3,500 people studying different avenues within hospitality. People like Ana Carolina Ortega-Guandique come from all over the world to study at Rosen. She shares what she thinks the future of the college and hospitality industry will look like.
I think that's going to keep growing. Especially here in Orlando, we can definitely see that there is so much opportunities, and I think that they're going to keep adding more.
Over the past 20 years, Rosen has changed a lot. Guandique believes to accommodate the growing industry and college, Rosen will keep adding new majors and programs. In Orlando, Jeremy Beland, UCF Nightly News.
Molinax said hospitality is looking to even add AI to hospitality. So we'll continue to monitor how this industry grows in the near future.
UCF researchers are making advances in treating malaria by using an unexpected type of treatment, cancer drugs and fungi. With $3.8 million in grants from the National Institute of Health, head of Molecular Microbiology Division, Debobak Chakrabarti, an infectious disease specialist at the UCF College of Medicine, has been working hard towards stopping this disease. Despite drugs being developed in the past to combat this, over time, malaria has adapted to it.
Drugs are developing resistance, and that's very common with any anti-infective. The parasites slowly, upon exposure, develop resistance.
According to the study, malaria disproportionately impacts women and children under the age of 5. As part of Chakrabarti's research efforts, he's recently published 2 new investigative studies to get to the bottom of just that. Coming up after the break, we see how this new bill signed by Ron DeSantis to stop local governments from requiring heat protection for outdoor workers and how this will affect UCF students who work outside.
Plus, UCF's Day of Giving in 2024 broke some records with the amount of money it raised. So keep it here. We'll be right back. A recent new bill signed by Governor Ron DeSantis will make Florida's local government's ban from requiring heat and water breaks for its outdoor workers. More than 2 million workers in Florida will be affected as a result of this ordinance. Those affected will range from people employed in construction, agriculture, and many other areas. According to Shauna Juco, one of Florida's clinicians for climate action, students of all ages should be wary of heat-related illnesses and the impacts it can have on your overall health. Well, it seems like we're having some technical difficulties right now, but I promise you, JUCO says there's a lot of bad things, and you should always tell your professors or your employer if you're having some mental illnesses, because those can have some effects. Well, and also JUCO recommends to speak to supervisors, is what I was trying to say, because if you're feeling unwell, short-term problems may lead to serious and irreversible damage. How that being said, the bill is expected to go in effect July of this year.
UCF's annual Day of Giving broke a new record by raising more than $9.1 million in 24 hours. Every year, UCF hosts a fundraising day to raise money that goes towards university, such as athletics and STEM programs. This year, donors raised 34% more money than last year. Cynthia Chamberlain is a UCF alumni who donated money to create a new Women in STEM scholarship for students.
Just to take away that economic barriers, just so that women or anyone non-traditional can get back into school and can go and get their degree. And who knows what that'll bring for the future.
Kimberlyn says she's looking forward to the impact this scholarship has on students. For more information about UCF's Day of Giving, you can go to ucf.edu.
A UCF instructor and grad student was recently honored with the high distinction of Outstanding Creative Work for 2024. Nightly News reporter Miranda Camp met with her to learn more about what drives her creativity nearly 8,000 miles away from her home.
For graduate studio art student and educator Njeri Kanuthia, her Kenyan roots and womanhood spark her creation. Recently, she received the UCF Graduate Award for Outstanding Creative Work, a high distinction given only to those who have impactful, compelling art. Just this past year, she has garnered several awards and over $10,000 in prize money, thanks to the impressive scale of her installations.
So my work right now has this really huge presence that makes you feel small. So when people look at me and my body size and the work I'm making, that's also like, wow, you did that by yourself.
Several of her peers and faculty members also give her high praise, including one of her close mentors and studio art lab coordinator, Jason Franzik.
Njeri is probably one of the bravest students I've met because of her willingness to speak out against her culture in a manner that, if she were to ever go back, could cause a lot of harm to her.
Luckily for Njeri, her family was actually extremely accepting of her artwork, and her mother actually sends her buckets of fabrics just like this one to include in her large-scale art installations across Orlando and UCF. As Njeri wraps up her time at UCF as both an educator and student, she's excited to see where the lessons she learned take her next.
I didn't imagine that this is where I would be at this time. So it's just exciting, humbling, and it's such a big honor to have accomplished so much in the last year.
In Orlando, Miranda Camp, UCF Nightly News.
Njeri's next site-specific installation will be in Orlando's Art Museum. So students and art lovers alike can look at her work and visit the museum anytime between June and August.
The Student Government Association looks to lend support to students with a new service arm. Students looking for help with Title IX cases can now look to the SG's judicial branch. The addition of the service arm allows students to discuss cases or potential cases with justices. Guidance or support from fellow students can be found on the third floor of the Student Union. Student Government Chief Justice Lisbeth Silva says this allows those seeking guidance to speak openly.
Because a lot of the times they don't want to tell their parents or don't want to tell their friends because it can be embarrassing or scary, Title IX is like a really broad amount of cases.
Students can seek peer support or guidance by submitting a request on Night Connect or submitting a request through an email to sga_cjusat@ucf.edu. When we come back, we're going to check back with our weather anchor Nick Silvat and see what kind of weather we can expect this weekend.
And just a bit before that, we'll look at a big picture and how the weather is looking around nationwide. So don't get anywhere, because we'll be right back. Now looking at the weather nationwide, Embry-Riddle student meteorologist Matthew Bitts shows us the forecast.
Well, we are in for a very wet and rainy 48 hours or so across a good portion of the United States this weekend, and that is all because of this upper-level jet stream that is steering that rain and snowfall into a couple different regions here. First off is the East Coast. Now, this is going to be mainly scattered showers for inland areas, so places along the I-95 corridor like Washington, New York, and Boston. That will be a little drier for you on Friday and Saturday as this system pulls out into the Atlantic. But on the backside of that system, we are looking at slightly cooler temperatures. So places like the Dakotas and Montana, you could be looking at highs 15 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. And if we head a little further south into spots like Colorado, Utah, and Nevada, that system is steering the moisture into place, so it could be looking like some showers or snowfall for you at the higher elevations. And if we move a little bit further downstream into the weekend, it's areas like Arkansas and Oklahoma that can see those showers and thunderstorms. Those were your weather headlines. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you to our Embry-Riddle colleagues for that nation forecast. Hey Ray, the weather has been pretty nice recently. I wonder if I can go jump in the pool after this.
I don't know, but honestly, I hope so, Isabella, because summer's coming soon and I'm ready to graduate.
Right, yeah, and we haven't seen our weather anchor Nick Silvat today. I wonder where he is so he can tell us a little bit more about these temperatures. Oh, there he is. Hey Nick, what you doing over there with that floaty? Can we expect some high temperatures and sunny skies this weekend?
Well, Isa, let me talk to you. I'm here sitting at the reflection pond in a very vulnerable position. As you can tell, the sun is out and about. It is hot. I'm here with my friend Swanee to talk to you about the weather, even though you guys have the weather app on your phones. So today, The highs of weather, 94. Oh my, it'll be hot. But guess what? At night, we'll go to the 60s. Cool little 66. No excuses to miss the Miami Heat playoff game tonight. We play the Chicago Bulls to face the Boston Celtics. We want Boston. Anyways, forget all that. Looking forward to the weekend. Dr. Kite and I are going to feel like we're back home in Miami. It will be so hot in Orlando with 90s throughout Saturday and Sunday. Guess what? At nighttime, same thing like tonight, in the 60s for the weekend with a low of 64 on Saturday and a low of 61 on Sunday. As you can tell, the people are out today. It's such a beautiful day. We got grad picks on this side. We got champagne popping on that side. And we got library stuff going on that side. Unfortunately for you guys, it's it. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Nick, for that update. After the break, we'll check in with Ron Peretti to see how more Floridians are sliding into home this season on the UCF baseball team.
Plus, we'll take a look at some new faces at UCF football and how senior quarterback KJ Jefferson performed in his first game as a UCF Knight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Knights. My name is Ron Peretti, and I'm here to give you your UCF Knightly News Sports Update. Phase 1 of UCF's Hagel Football Gateway project officially begins as workers plow the lot for the estimated $88 million renovation on Wednesday afternoon. The new plans call for creating more than 1,200 new club seats, 25 luxury boxes, 25 lodges, and about 60,000 square feet. UCF says the stadium expansion will help increase significant revenue for UCF athletics. The project is expected to be completed by the 2026 football season. More Floridians are sliding into home this 2024 season in the UCF baseball team. You'll be surprised to know how many Floridian natives are pitching and batting on campus. Nightly News reporter Isabella Benjumea spoke to the Floridian players and tells us why so many recruits are from the state.
More players are staying in home base. Over 70% of the UCF baseball team are native Floridians. Out of the 42 Knights in the roster, 30 of them are from right here in the Sunshine State.
UCF is welcoming more and more Floridians to their baseball fields this season, with 11 transfers out of the 17 being from the state. And out of the 30 Sunshine State natives in the team, 16 of them originate from the Central Florida region. But why? For pitcher Tyler Nesbitt, it's all about the culture the team has.
You know, I'm born and raised Florida. I never left Florida, really. And Coach Wallace called me when I was in the portal and presented me with the opportunity to play in the Big 12, compete in the Big 12, and it just couldn't turn it down. You know, I could sense the kind of culture he was trying to bring, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Some of the players' hometowns include Miami, Winter Springs, Jacksonville, and Naples. AJ Nestler's is Tampa, and he's thrilled to be playing close to home.
It's awesome. You know, my goal was always to come back home, and you know, when Coach Wallace called me and said that he wanted to form a team that's going to compete in the Big 12 with guys who are, you know, from the area and guys who represent the state of Florida, you know, I was very excited, and obviously it's something that I wanted to do.
Coach Wallace said recruiting in the Central Florida area is a focal point for the UCF baseball team. They want to represent their state the best way possible by creating hometown heroes for young athletes.
This is the highest number of Floridian players they've had since 2017. In Orlando, Isabela Benjumea, UCF Knightly News.
You can watch the Knights take on Central Michigan tonight and tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the John Ulano Park here at home. The UCF football team played its annual spring game this past Friday. The rosters were split up into two teams, the Citronauts and the Knights. The Citronauts won the game by a score of 23, giving Knight fans their first look at senior transfer quarterback KJ Jefferson. Jefferson threw for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns through 2 quarters of play. This, according to Jefferson, is the first step on the Knights' path to the playoffs.
Just past football, so just being able to just come in each and every day with a chip on my shoulder that, I mean, we want to be able to come in and be make it to the playoff. So, I mean, that's the main thing going into it. I mean, I'm holding guys to a high standard, and I want them to hold me to a high standard as well.
Season against the University of New Hampshire on August 29th. Jefferson and the Knights encouraged Knight Nation to come and support the team as they enter their second season in the Big 12. That's all the time I have for now. For the last line, back to you, Isabella and Ray.
Thank you, Ron, for that sports update. That's all our time for right now. Thanks for joining us this semester.
And thank you for watching, and have a nice week.
Bye.